Well, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by the SD card coming to an end. Yes, Perth still is the most isolated city in the world, and probably will forever be until we get proper broadband in this country. I mean real broadband, not Clayton's broadband. I mean real fibre to the home, not fibre to the node, using a secondary outdated 50-year-old at least copper cable system that's rapidly degrading towards the end of its life. I mean, so in other words, what, they have to replace all that copper? I mean, copper is one of the most expensive metals that's used regularly in society, you know, and I suppose it's going to have to be special top grade copper too, like bell wire or something like that. They use for magnets, things like that. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not an expert in this area, but you know, I think they say the only more conductive general metal is silver, isn't it? And they're definitely not going to be using that. But yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, before I got sidetracked. So for about a year before I got onto the computer system and started receiving, you know, the old black and whites fairly regularly. I had just these, I believe from memory, 16 issues, you know, the first 4 volumes to read in the toilet. So I read them again. Every time I went to the toilet, I'd read, you know, a bit, and I read them again and again and again. And they kept me in good stead for when I came to South Australia. The late Ken Dale, you know, I was like 13 or 14 then when I got to see Ken, and he gave me this test that he used to test everyone else out on. It was like, you know, what's this Sarracenia? And of course I knew it was a test because of the way he said it, and my mind raced back through all those 16 issues or so in the back of my mind to that Egder Weary, I think Egder T. Weary issue, when he talks about his early days, and he talks about the Louis Burke, you know, discovery of Louis Burke. Well, that one's got a few seed pods on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, maybe I should. I don't know if I've got any containers on me. Not really. You don't want to crush those pods because the seeds just go everywhere. Anyway, I've got plenty of seed at home anyway. Don't worry, Sean, you'll get tons of seed, so will everyone else I send it out to. Anyway, so it went through my mind, you know, and the look of it, of course, had an unusual look for a purpurator. It's the way it sat on the ground, sort of sat backwards, resplendent on the ground. So I said, you know, is it a Louis Burke? And he was just totally amazed and gobsmacked that like a 13 to 14 year old had answered this question correctly when no one else in the society had. And after that, he sort of took me under his wing, sort of thing, and treated me differently to all the other people in the society, you know. And yeah, I remember he ended up, you know, he was a smoker. He had been in the Second World War as something to do with the planes. I don't know whether he was in the planes or he was an engineer on the plane. It doesn't really matter which side of the coin you're on there. It all counts. I mean, if the planes aren't maintained, they just drop out the sky, don't they? You know, even the person who folds the parachute is important in those days, because you can't fold your own parachute under those stressful times. You've got to have someone doing hundreds of them for you, and you just got to trust them in wartime and things like that. But anyway, yeah, he got cancer, and they gave him 4 months to live, and he was dead in 2. And it was before the days of the new palliative care, and it was a terrible death. He died screaming. I was told he died in screaming in absolute agony, and I was there like the week before that happened, like about a week after I think he was diagnosed, and he was there. And he asked me to go out because he had just germinated regia seedlings, and I think he had about 3 of them or something, and he had one that was bigger than the others, and he got me to go out into the garden and bring this in on his sick bed so he could see this thing. So yeah, So I'm carrying those memories with me, and it's like other people carry memories with them. And this, I think, is the way I'm going to lead into CPN, because I'm still waiting for my I'm still waiting for the current issue of CPN, whether it's got whether they mail out to Australia later than they do mail out to New Zealand. But I know that Andrew Broome said on the internet about 3 weeks ago, I think today actually, because today's Friday, about 3 weeks ago today, Friday, that he got his issue. So whether they mail Australia sometime after New Zealand with a few other countries in between, I don't know. The New Zealand Islands, I don't know. Grattan, or is it Chatham Island? But yeah, I haven't got it yet. And now with the US shutdown, I'm assuming that, geez, that's a lovely fence. That's almost worth a photograph, isn't it? Let's go back. But a well-maintained gate. Okay, but yeah, what with the US shutdown, I'm assuming that US postal workers are government employees, and they've been shut down unless they're on some special, emergency funding or something, state security funding or something. You've got to keep the postal service going or something. We'll get a cost down here somewhere. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get it. They reckon the shutdown's going to be for 4 weeks. So I'm assuming if it has been delayed and it hasn't even actually got out of America yet, I'm going to be waiting another month. So Andrew Broome will be having read his copy for 2 months before I even got my. I mean, I can read it online, but and I had a quick flick through it online, but it's not the same. I like to sit down, put my feet up with something you can hold in your hands, and something you can quickly refer to. And this is my way of getting to the point. I think what happened with CP and where it went wrong is when it went to the colour quarto version. Anyway, it's time to start a new clip now, I think.